Hello class. This is the overview of Social Welfare Policy and Services 2 and syllabus review. Let's start with the syllabus. I'm your professor, Dr. Bonner Kozad, and I'll be working with you this semester. I'm not going to read all of this to you. It's 32 pages, and that would simply be obnoxious. But I do want to point out some important pieces. Please read the entire document. If you've had class with me before, you will have heard this already. I really see the syllabus as a contract between the two of us, between myself and each individual student, what you can expect from me and what is expected of you. And it's very important that you know what the expectations are. It will greatly aid in you doing well in the course, which is my goal, for everyone to do well. So let's begin. A few procedural issues. If you need to reach me, feel free to text, feel free to email. Please use my Gmail. I don't check my Howard email often. I'm super fast on responding to text messages. Just a note, please tell me who you are. I don't put all of your phone numbers in my phone and what class you are talking about. Please don't call me unless it is a real emergency. If it is an emergency, absolutely use my phone number. I'm also available every Thursday for this semester between 8 and 9 p.m. And I'll point it out when we go over the actual learning platform. There is a virtual office hours that you can attend if you would like an opportunity to talk in real time with me over the computer. So you've taken Social Welfare Policy 1. This is the next course in the sequence. And it's really to take all of those skills that you learned to the next level. We're going to be focusing heavily on policy analysis, as well as looking at specific issues that if you were to work in any sort of macro setting, would be critical for your success. This class is a little bit different. There are fewer writing assignments. Just the one big paper. You'll have a midterm exam. But there are experiential activities that you need to participate in, and we'll get to those later. Again, the Black perspective and its application to Policy 2, you can look at that all here. It's in a nice little chart for you. The course objectives, please read them. And really, I would say right here, I would think you would want to know what you should be able to do when you leave the course. Well, it's right here. You can also, if you're interested, look at the core competencies, the practice behaviors, which educational outcomes are going to help you meet these competencies, and the way that they will be assessed. So that's all another giant chart. This chart is also, almost all of this information is also on Blackboard separately, but just so you know where it all is here. If you signed up for this class in error and you did not intend to be in the fully online class, please make sure you get that rectified as soon as possible. The required text is the Jansen text, Becoming an Effective Policy Advocate, 7th edition. It should be in the bookstore already. There are other ways to get it if you need to look at a different price point. So, that being said, Obviously, the school, the university, as well as myself, take cheating and plagiarism very seriously. As a person who writes for a living, I take it very seriously because I would never want anyone to take my intellectual property and pass it off as their own. To that end, there is a plagiarism quiz. It's one of your first assignments this week. You have to pass it. That's not optional. It's taken very seriously, and I do use SafeAssign for all written assignments so that I can ensure that the work you are doing is your own. If you need assistance with your writing, I highly encourage you to use the writing department. I did see this year that they are also offering help online, which may be a better option. I know for graduate students who may or may not be on campus as often, getting to another place where you've got to meet someone in person might be a little stressful, but they do have an online option. I don't know anything about it, but I did notice that that is there. We'll be using APA format, as all of the classes in the School of Social Work do. If APA isn't your forte, if you're struggling with it, I highly recommend going to the owl.english.purdue.edu website. They have a fantastic breakdown of how to use APA properly. It really, it's quite a boon. So that's a great resource to take advantage of. If you need any special services, please make sure you get to the Office of Special Student Services, get your paperwork so we can get that taken care of, and you can receive any services that are necessary, accommodations in order to do well. If you are struggling with anything like sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, stalking, please take that very seriously and reach out to help. Reach out for help. The numbers for the Violence Prevention Program and the counseling services are here if you need them. Please review the course requirements. I'll say this in general: if your computer is in between 1 and 3 years old, you should be fine. But you can use this link right here. This link here to make sure that your computer is compatible with everything you will need to use Blackboard efficiently. As I mentioned, we're totally online. Everything will be done through the Blackboard system, including all of your discussion boards, posting all your assignments. So you really, if you've not used it before, please give yourself some time to review it, figure out how it works. Go to the iLab if you need some one-on-one help, but knowing how to use Blackboard efficiently is really going to help. Oftentimes, when assignments are due, I get frantic emails from students. This didn't post right. I couldn't get the video uploaded. I will be very clear and say that is your responsibility to know how to use the technology. If you don't know how and you're not willing to learn, an online class might not be the best option for you. Having said that, most of these things are pretty easy. You're just going to have to put some time into it if it's unfamiliar to you. Class attendance is not like it would be in a face-to-face class, obviously. But the discussion board really serves as our class. It emulates the class experience in that it's our opportunity to have discussion with one another. If you miss 6 or more assignments, discussion board assignments, you will fail this class. So it is very important to participate in the discussion boards. You can check out here how the grading works, the percentages of each assignment, so on and so forth. But it's laid out fairly simply here. There are 3 experiential exercises. They are starting basically immediately. The first one is next week. So you really need to get on that. Each assignment is 10% of your grade, so it's a pretty hefty cut. There are some options if you can't make this, but it's very important that you attend these activities. So there are 3 experiential exercises. You will be going to a public hearing. It can be local, it can be state, it can be federal. And then you are going to write up some public testimony based on that experience. And then you'll be presenting those via a video, and then there will be discussion online with your classmates. That's 15% of your grade. The one large paper is the policy analysis paper. That's 25% of your grade. And then the remainder is a function of your midterm exam, the plagiarism quiz, which for such a small thing, I mean, it gets 5 percentage points. So, and then the discussion board post. It's a total, the discussion itself is 10% of your grade. So again, not something you want to throw away. A more extensive breakout of the experiential exercises is here. The bottom line is you attend, and then you do a 500-word write-up that's posted to Blackboard, and then there'll be some discussion on that. So here are 3 that I've picked out for you. 2 are in person, 1 is a webinar. If you cannot attend these, if you cannot make time in your schedule, you are responsible for finding a replacement. You need to get my approval that what you want to attend meets the criteria. I have posted some places where you can look for other options. So you get a little help there, but I'm not going to find them for you. A more extensive breakout of the public testimony, including some links if you're not sure what public testimony is supposed to look like, where you can get some ideas. How do you find a public government meeting? I've included the calendars, the government calendars for the DC Council, the Arlington County Board, Prince George's County, and the U.S. Senate. All who have public meetings. Now, of course, any locale, state, county, cities often have governmental groups that meet, and any of them will probably be fine. So if none of these work for you, you'll need to find one, or you're not interested in the topics that they're talking about, whatnot. You will need to do that investigating. Do not leave this for the last minute. It's much easier if you get the testimony out of the way early in the semester before things get super hectic. Trust me, I've taught this class a million times. There's inevitably someone who waits till the last minute. They can't find a meeting to go to, and it gets to, it's a problem for them. If you took Policy 1 with me, the paper will be very familiar. It's just a more fleshed out version of the paper you did before. If not, on the Blackboard site, there is a breakout that tells you exactly what you need to do, how many pages, how many references. It's all written out for you so you know precisely what's needed. And here you can review the whole semester, all of the units that we'll be covering, all of the, write-ups of what actually is part of each of those units. It looks like a lot, because it is. And one of the most important pieces, maybe the most important piece of paper in the syllabus, the course calendar. Class date, what we're doing, what's due. If any of these dates change for any reason, though I don't see that they will, that will be posted to Blackboard. So make sure you're checking your announcements. Check your announcements. And then back here, there are some additional articles just for your own personal edification. And then links to lots of policy-related places that may be helpful when you're looking for topics for your paper or any of the other assignments. Now, I have not updated these links this year, so if a link doesn't work, don't worry. Just do a Google search for the actual name of the place here, and that will get you there. And I had hoped to have it updated, but it's a lot, as you can see. Okay, so that's the basics of the syllabus. Please read it. Please read it. And now what I'd like to do is walk you through the course platform. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure this is where you end up from the student view when you first log in. Announcements, these will be pushed to your email address. So it's critical that that Blackboard has the email that you actually read. If you don't use your Howard, like I don't use my Howard email, make sure that the email you use is in Blackboard. Also, please post your picture in your account so we can get to know each other and see each other. But the email is critical. So I will always post weekly, your weekly assignment, and it will look like this: what you need to read, what videos, what lectures. I'll remind you of tests or assignments due. I'll do all of that each week. If something comes up, I will also create an announcement so everyone can see it. I will try not to bombard you with announcements. So, you know, it shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 a week, unless something really fantastic happens. So if you go to start here, it tells you to go to the lectures, and all of the course content is contained right here. So you have the Unit 1, which takes us through the middle of February. In each of these, you will see what content we're going over, any videos, any multimedia content, lectures, PowerPoints, articles. They will all be contained inside each of these lesson folders. The PowerPoints are here, but I also just group them all together just for convenience. So this is where you'll be going every week to look for your work. Also, it's all in the syllabus as well. So the discussion board that we talked about earlier, this is really critical. The discussion board is posted for the entire semester. The first things you're going to do are introduce yourself, and your first assignment, discussion board assignment, is actually next week. A couple things I want to point out here. This is just a general welcome. You don't need to do anything with that. The student lounge is a place where you all can talk, sort of a student platform. You can post here anonymously. I do not read the student lounge. The only time I even go in here is to clear it out at the end of the semester. If you have a question for me, that is non-urgent. You can post it here. I try to check every couple days. It might be as much as a week. If you have an urgent matter, you have my cell phone, you have my email. introductions here, and then as you'll see, the discussion board is here. You go in, you open a forum, create a thread, and then you will post your replies to whatever the question of the week is. Please don't post your answers inside other people's answers. Always create a new thread when you're making a post. Your experiential exercises are posted here in the discussion board so we can talk about them, but also there is a turn-in link right here in the left nav bar where it says turn-in assignments here. You need to do both. One is for grading, the other is for class discussion. So as you can see, these are all populated for the whole semester. Everything is here that you will need. Your public testimony, so you're going to write public testimony, then you are going to give your testimony. You're going to videotape yourself giving your public testimony, and then your classmates will come in and discuss your testimony here in the Blackboard site. Okay, so that's the discussion board. Course information, lots of stuff here, also in the syllabus, but for those of you who like it on this platform, it's here. All of the charts about the course competencies and outcomes are right there. The course calendar is here also for your viewing, as well as how you're being graded, assignments, due dates, etc. The breakout of the assignment details are here. Textbook, if you have or need some help with distance learning, some extra communications tools. The information about the policy analysis paper is here. I just put it in a couple different places just so you know it's where you can find it. My contact information is here. There are additional resources like study skills and that type of stuff here. And then my virtual office hour. So as I said, 8 o'clock, 8 to 9. Well, I don't know why that's not working. I will have to fix that. Anyway, this is where you will go for this. And you'll see one for each week. Okay, so we've gone over the lectures, assignments. So I've pulled out again the requirements for the written assignments. The experiential exercises are here again. The public testimony is here, and the policy analysis, and then right here this link that will lead you to the full document that shows you what's expected for the paper. You're going to turn in your assignments here. Experiential exercises, as it says here, turn in here and post to the discussion board. Turn in here, post to the discussion board. For your paper, you're only turning it in here. And finally, the exam center. You can find the plagiarism quiz. It will be available next week. And your midterm, you will also find it here. It will be open book, and it will be available on February 23rd at 7 a.m. So, I think that's a pretty reasonable overview. Please pop by office hours tonight if you have any burning questions. And I'm looking forward to a great semester with everyone. All right, take care.